Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Jason Coles, otherwise known as They Strife, and while I did start doing videos around this time last year, a baby kind of appeared magically out of thin air, and I haven't had a huge amount of time since, not to mention the several career changes and other things. The good news is that things have clearly started to settle down, which is why I'm going to start doing videos again, which is good, I guess. I'm going to kick things off with not only with a video, but with a commitment to an entire video series called What I Love About, or Willa, which looks better than it sounds, at least when it was written down in the script. Anyway, I'm going to be looking at the individual aspects of a game that I love, even if I don't necessarily love the game itself. So it's going to be a really laser-focused look at the things that I find fascinating or really enjoyable in video games. My aim is to put out more positivity than negativity, because I think there's enough of that going around on the internet, and it's nice to highlight the things that a game does well, even if I don't necessarily enjoy the rest of it. Today we're going to be talking about Anthem, which is pretty obvious because it's in the title of the video. Anthem is a game that I reviewed for Tech Radar. It's one that I put a lot of time into initially, obviously, because I reviewed it, and it's one that I've updated the review of multiple times since. It's one that I don't necessarily enjoy, but I really did want to, and I still occasionally jump back in, whether to write or just to play, because there's one aspect of it that nothing else can do well, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Anthem is a game all about how space magic caused bad things to happen. It also involves a plethora of things I don't really like, but that's not what we're going to focus on today. Instead, I want to talk about the magnificent traversal systems available in BioWare's latest game, and just how much I wish they had more time to shine. One of the key selling points of this game was the Iron Man-esque flying, where, depending on the suit you were using, you could jet around the world viewing it from on high for an almost unlimited amount of time. There's a lot more to the joys of this part of the game than just the flying itself, though. Your suit uses some kind of space jetpack to fly you around, but that piece of equipment can only get you up for so long. This mostly depends on which suit you're using. If you're in the heavy Colossus frame, then you're going to struggle to stay in the air. On the other hand, if you're playing as the Storm, which is the best class, then you can fly around for far longer, a bit like the X-Men character of the same name. There's this overheating system in Anthem, and it's one that controls how long you can fly for. If you fly, your jetpack heats up, your suit heats up. If you dive straight down while you're in the air while flying, it actually cools things down and allows you to fly for longer. The same thing happens if you go through waterfalls or if you go underwater. This means that while traversing the rather large open world, you can specifically try and stay in the air longer by planning your route and leapfrogging from lake to waterfall to river. It's great, and the transition between water and air is genuinely wonderful. There's no stutter, there's no wall, there's no panic, there's no moment where it doesn't work. You just continue on, like an unstoppable knife through a world of butter. Aside from that aspect, you have these incredible animations when you hit the ground running. The slight differences in the way you transition is brilliant, but my favourite by far is actually the Interceptor. It's probably my second favourite Javelin, but the way it transitions from air to ground is excellent. Your knees brace, the booster on your back kicks in as you start sprinting forwards, and you never feel as though you've lost any momentum. That's probably the most important bit for me. At no point during these transitions does it ever feel like you've lost momentum, and you so rarely feel punished for using the systems available to you. And it just makes it so much fun. It's one of the reasons why I like the Storm so much, because the Storm has literally no issue staying in the air for an almost limitless amount of flying, and it's just so freeing. Aside from the obvious issues with the games, like funny glitches and the horrible frame rate and the loading and the lack of an interesting story, one of the biggest problems for me was the fact that the traversal system just wasn't featured enough in the missions. It was something that just felt mysteriously absent in a lot of the way that the worlds were actually designed, and particularly in some of the last missions, you were funneled into these linear, restrictive caverns and cave systems or tunnels or corridors, and it just lost a lot of that appeal and a lot of that magic, something that made the open world so incredibly brilliant. Alas, these things were not meant to be, clearly, although with Cataclysm coming up soon, it could be possible that we see some more opportunities to use this brilliant system. While I'm on the subject of Anthem, can you imagine how excellent a PvP system would be with that kind of freedom? All chasing each other around, flying after each other, doing something, truly interesting. Like a Battle Royale with that kind of system would be just a huge amount of fun, hypothetically. It's really odd that there weren't racing missions as well, because flying through hoops is one of the most fun things you can do in that game, thanks to the way it feels and the way it controls. And while it didn't work for Superman 64, it would have worked here because it works so well. We may never know why these things weren't included, but we do know that there will be another one of these videos next week, and I hope that you'll tune in for it. Please check out my Patreon and feel free to subscribe. There's only the one tier at the moment because I've only done one video and I feel like it's a bit cheeky to ask for any more. It's patreon.com/NATheStrife, which I will put in the description. Feel free to follow me on Twitter as well, which is @NATheStrife, because I'm trying to keep some level of consistency. And get in contact. Let me know what kind of games you love. Let me know in the comments below what are the things that make you love a game despite the fact that it might not be all that good, or what are the things that stand out for you in an otherwise terrible game. Get in contact, and I'll see you next time.